to another video. Today I'm going to be reviewing the entire season of Ninjago Crystalized. Just my thoughts on everything about the season. Just kind of talking about it. First, I would like to go over some pros, which I think are just things that were really good in sort of the season and the finale. So my first pro is that the fight scenes in this season were just really good. A good example is episode 15, The Fall of the Monastery. Just the fight scenes in that episode were just so good. The fighting and everything was just really, really awesome. But that's like for the entire season, all the fighting is just really, really good. My second pro is that the different returns of the villains all made sense. What I mean by this is all the different returns of each villain, like the Overlord, Harumi, Crystal King, Harumi, Skull Sorcerer, Pythor, etc. They all made sense. I like that the Ninjago writers remembered to make all of the villains that were returning, all of them were alive beforehand, so they never really brought anyone back from the dead, except for Harumi, but that one also made sense to me. I feel like Harumi's return was also really good. One of the biggest pros to me personally is that we got to see a bunch of our favorite characters in the sort of ending of the season, like episode 29 in Dragon Form, where we got to see Rei and Maya, Sally, Benthamar, Ronin, Fugidove, all the different characters we've seen in Ninjago's history, they were there, which I just think was awesome. Another pro that I have, which I think is really good, is it was just felt like a wholesome end to Ninjago's current saga. It may not have been everything that everybody ever wanted, but I do think that it was wholesome in a way. My final pro is that this was just all around a really good season. The animation was top tier, the writing was good. You can barely find any real problems in the season. I just think it is an incredible season overall, and I really, really like it. Moving on to some of my cons. Number one is in the sort of ending of Ninjago Crystalized, there was a lack of consequence, which means there was no death, no loss of power, etc. Things really didn't make sense to me, how no one really lost their powers, no one died. I feel like there should have been at least one sacrifice made to make this feel like a really detrimental, crazy end to Ninjago, but there really wasn't, which just I feel like was annoying. Yes, the 4 ninja lost their powers, they gave them up, but it was basically confirmed by Wu in the end. He was like, I promise, they'll return eventually. So I just think that doesn't really make sense, doesn't really feel like a consequence to me personally. This one is another big one for me. It is the wasted Oni Lloyd plot. They built up this entire thing throughout the season about Lloyd unlocking his powerful Oni form, and they had an entire episode dedicated to Garmadon teaching Lloyd how to find this form. There was so much emphasis around this plot of Lloyd becoming an Oni, and it all just shows up for him to be an Oni for the matter of 10 seconds, and then boom, he's back to normal Lloyd. Such a wasted plot, and just doesn't really make sense to me. And then this final one's just a really small con that I have. It's not really anything special. It's nothing that I would really change or I would change it, but just it's not something I get mad about or anything. But it's that when the monastery was being rebuilt, they should have played something like Overture or The Weekend Whip, but they just played Sally's song Inner Steel for some reason. I just think that was really weird. Why wouldn't you play one of Ninjago's songs that they've been playing for years instead of the song that came out a few months ago? I don't know. Really kind kind of annoyed me. Not the worst thing in the world, but I did get kind of annoyed by that, but small detail there. I'm not too worried about it. I also would like to say another con that I have is that Nia just like randomly got her powers back. Like the whole entire beginning of the season was all trying to bring Nia back and everything, and the cost for it was losing her powers, which honestly, if it stayed like that, this would have been a really awesome season. But no. Nia just like was about to get captured by the mechanic, so she was just like, oh no, and then just shot some water out of a fire hydrant. Like, what? That was so random. You didn't even make it epic like Kai's was. Like, they were all about to face Frostbite, and Kai just like pulled it straight out of his hands. Like, Nia was just kind of like, you know what, maybe I will. Like, it didn't, I do not think it was a good way to bring back her power. I mean, maybe if it was a good way, I'd feel better about it, but just come on, that wasn't that good. This one is more of a personal opinion, but I don't really like Harumi that much, and so I feel kind of annoyed that she was redeemed in the last few episodes. Just after everything she's done and everything, it just feels kind of annoying that she's just, you know, back to being friends with the ninja. Like, it's just a bit confusing to me, and I don't really like that personally. So overall, my final thoughts is just that this season is a really, really, really good season, and I really like it. There are definitely some cons I have and everything, but I do think this season was a really good end to Ninjago's current saga. So, there you go. I hope you all have an absolutely amazing rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!